All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. But I really need a new computer. Just taking. Unreal never cease to surprise me how much it takes to load something. How are you doing, everyone? We're gonna start doing these live streams more often. This is more gonna be like more like working live stream, more chatting, more sharing. Any advice, any just think about it as like just chatting, but we'll be working on something on our end. So this was a project I had some time ago where I created these Age of Empires 4 building, and I'm gonna show you how it looks like because you're gonna see how it looks in the game. You know what's funny? I put this here, but it actually shows mine. So this is it. Like this is the original one, and because it's an RTS game, there's a lot of details that they cannot really put there, right? So the idea for this project was just to make it look how it will look like super realistic, and yeah, this was the result, like the one you see here on the screen. It's so funny. I put actually the name of this, and I get my own version instead of the game version. This is the game version. So there is another one, and we're gonna work this time on the fortress here. This is gonna be the Knights Templar fortress, and I've been working on it a few hours here and there over the past months, but never really committed to actually working on it because I was finishing a lot of stuff from work and everything. So I already have some base, and I can show you how it looks like. And let me try to find the screenshots here. It's gonna, so you can see how it looked like before. So let's go for AUE4 fan art and go to screenshots. There you go. So I like to save the screenshots whenever I can, so I can see the progress and not really, think about too much for like the process is really hard. Like I think this was my first day doing this, either first or second, I don't know, and then start working on some proportions, whatever, and this is like the last version that I have. So we're gonna have to try to make it. Let me go here. All right. So by the way, just checking if the stream is all right. We're gonna improve the stream little by little. It's coming together, right? So by the way, if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat. If you're working on something or you wanna share something with me, feel free to do so. So hello Isaac, hola. So this is a current state of this. So what I did was work a lot on this part because like I wanted to have a feeling of the materials and everything, and it should feel like concrete. I really like this rock texture here. Hello the red. Casi las 12, sí. Aquí estamos en el día, estoy en China. So, by the way, I'm just testing the time, like what time will be the best to stream. So far, I'm gonna do it at this time. Probably I will start a little bit earlier. I don't know yet. We will see. We will see. So that is not so late in America. But also there is the option to do it like more European friendly time. In Cali right now, I envy you, man. Oh man, I've been wanting to go to Cali for quite a while. Like all the beaches in Southeast Asia are really cool. So very, very nice. All right. So I actually made these models and I need to put some textures on them. So let's go ahead and try to find the materials that I'm using. So this is the fortress top. This is the fortress bottom. So let's go for the fortress bottom. Let me see where you say it. So it's AOA for fun art, the fortress. Yeah, there you go. So I'm actually using the materials that I used in the last project. So I don't have to redo them again. So what I will do is to open this up and put the... Oh, actually, the UVs did look quite nice. And then go for the top. All right, this one needs this one needs some help. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be really fun. All right. All right, so let's go for this one and try to find it. Okay, so it's this one here. All right. So a little bit of stretching here. So let's try to make it right. First things first, go to modeling and let's go to polygroup edit. And what I want to do first is some UVs. All right, man. Take care. Take care, man. You can always watch it later. Hello, real experts. For Germany. Oh my God, someone's awake from that hour. All right. So you can see there's a problem here. And I have one polygroup for everything. And that's going to be an issue when we do the UVs. So what I will do is to go to mesh, triangle select, and I can actually select by angle. So all within angle, and let's just put 1. So this one is gonna be the first one. So I'm gonna create polygroup. I don't really need the bottom, to be honest. But I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think I need the bottom. So we're just gonna click on this one and create polygroup. And we can go to model, polygroup edit, and we can delete this one. All right, so now that we have this, we can actually go for UVs. Let me just change the original material of this. It's gonna be my bottom material. So I'm actually gonna increase the size of the live chat. Let me see if I can do that, so I can check what you guys are commenting easier. All right, so let's put a material here. Yep, so working as expected. Terrible. So let's just do the UVs. It's gonna be very easy. We're just gonna go to UV editor. And what we're gonna do is to, actually, we can, oh my God, video memory has been exhausted. A classic. So let's just close this. And we can go for UV unwrap. And we can go for polygroups. There you go. So I have this polygroup, which is this one. And normally what I like to do is whenever there is an angle here, like it's not like 90 degrees, like it's flat here. So for example, if I had the ground here, I will create this as a separate polygroup. But because this one is already close, I can give it the same polygroup, which means it's going to be the same UV island. And the next one is going to be this one. So it's going to be very easy. And we can just accept. And look at that. Now you see that they are rotated. So a couple of things we need to change. So first one, we need to make sure our fortress is actually... So UVs, yeah, we're changing the UVs quite a lot here. Something to keep in mind. So we're going to open the UV editor. It's going to be easier. So go to model, polygroup edit, sorry, UVs, transform UVs. And this one we can actually rotate by 90 degrees. Awesome. It's actually using... Are we rotated by like the other side? I don't remember. Let me see if I can find one of these. So diffuse, maybe this one? No. Let's see. Maybe this one. Oh yeah. So this one is pointing down. I think it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So this one is looking fine. Let's go for this one. And let's rotate it 90 degrees. Beautiful. And now we can change the scale. So click accept. And you will see that the scale is pretty... it's pretty small. It's pretty small. So what we're gonna do is we can lay out the UVs as well. Nah. Oh, sorry. No, don't click everything. Just select one of those. Go to model, UVs, and let's click on layout. Nah, not feeling it. So transform UVs. This one is actually using this one. That's why I like to use the UV editor. It's actually more clean. So what I can do is to select with 4. And I can move it. I can select this one. And I can move it as well. So what I can do is just select both of them and make it a little bit smaller. How about like this? Yeah, I like it. All right. By the way, is the stream lagging or something? Just let me know if that's the case. All right. Because Unreal is quite heavy, and I actually reduced the screen resolution from 2K to 1K. So it's even lighter. But like the memory is just, Jesus, man. Now it's lagging? Okay. By the way, like, even if it's not streaming, probably it's still lagging. Okay, so we got here. Let me see how am I actually doing the vertex painting for this? I don't think I'm using the new method. I don't think so. Jesus, what happened here? All right. So I think I need to open up this one and make sure it's not nanite. Yeah, it's not. And I need some vertex painting. So let's go ahead and go for modeling. And now I can add some edges here. Like insert edge loop. Maybe I can just go for the other one. Much easier to work with. Eventually I will buy a new computer. They're kind of expensive, but it's necessary. So, come on, give me that angle. There you go. You don't have to be exact, but also you can use like even and do like 10, for example. Yeah, maybe that should do. And also go here and not go for 10, maybe 15, just larger, maybe 20, 25. What I'm looking for is like even distribution of quads. There you go. I'm gonna do the same here. And then I'm gonna go for 10. And click done and accept. There you go. So now I can just paint this. So what can I do? I can just go for mesh. Sorry, go for mesh paint. And to be fair, like you can use the new method to get like the virtual texture to start painting, and that kind of works. But I don't think I need it at the moment. I don't think so. So we can just paint here. Let's take a look at the RGB channel. So okay, so everything is white. Let's see what happens if we start painting with red here. All right, so let's start painting here. A lot of these meshes, this happened to me a lot when I was working in Ubisoft. Like, they really like didn't. Sometimes your mesh was good, and sometimes your materials and textures were right. But just like the way you painted them, it just, for example, I can just leave it like this and you may think, oh, this looks fine or whatever. If it doesn't look fine, like probably you need to paint it better. So you can start painting like this. And eventually you can change the textures. Something like that. We don't want to have any tiling. There you go. Maybe something like that. And I don't know if I can get away with this. Is it like the bottom? Yeah, this is using the bottom. I don't know if they have the same textile density, but I will need to check. By the way, this is a project that is gonna last quite a bit. So, so you can just go to mesh, and you will see that this vertex information is now safe in the original mesh. It's not like per instance, like every single instance of this mesh has different vertex color. It's like all of these have the same vertex color information. So I can just paint here again. And I can start decreasing the size. Something like that. I can even go for the night displacement. It can probably work. Probably, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. So I can just go to mesh. And you can see that it's actually changing quite a lot. So it's like, let's just put it here to mesh. There you go. A little bit of the bottom texture on top, just a tiny bit. You don't want to overdo it, just so that we can combine those two. It's all about the blending. It's all about the blending. A lot of these things. One of my instructor was like Anthony Vaccaro. Oh man, don't worry. Lurkers are always welcome. Feel free to bother at any time whenever you want. It's all right. So one of the things that he told me during the mentorship, it was, but he used to work at Naughty Dog. He still works at Naughty Dog. At that time, he was working on The Last of Us 2. And they just released I think it was Uncharted 4, right? The last one. So one of the things he told me that I still remember until this day is like, transitions in environments either make it or break it. Like, and it's really true. Like, sometimes you really just want a nice transition and you just don't have it, you know? And this is the thing with this, with these environments. Sometimes I really like this density. I really like it, but sometimes it's just a transition. Like, you put a little bit of a texture here at the bottom. You also want to put that just a tiny bit here on the top, just to transition between those two, just so that they get connected somehow. You can definitely try to do that. And I don't really sweat it. Like, I think that eventually this is kind of like painting. Like painting, if you wanna call it that way. Like, it's just a process. It's just a process, and the important thing here is to, as you work on these pieces, have a lot of faith, because they really take a lot of time to create, to make something great. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're gonna put this one here. And just a little bit better each day. And that's the thing, you cannot really do that in a studio. Sometimes you have to do it that way. And this is what I like about like personal projects like this, is that basically you can just take your time. You can just take your time and nothing will go wrong. It's all right. It's part of the process. And if you don't like something, you just change it. And the idea is that you have a lot of faith, because these things usually, you know, sometimes at the beginning when you see it like this, super ugly, you will think like, oh, I suck, or, you know, like, I'm not made for this, like, I will never do it right. And that's where you change like to another project. And it's really a vicious cycle. Like, you start something, it doesn't look right, you start again, it doesn't look right, and you start again. But things to look right usually is like at the end of it. Like, it's like the last 20% of the work is usually how it will affect 80% of the quality. And it's really true. Like, I know you hear it somewhere, like, I'm sure you have listened to people talk about this stuff. It's a very common rule, but usually, like in environments especially, like it's really what makes a big difference. It's really just that, like the last 20%. So if you keep that in mind, like if you keep this concept in mind that, you know, no matter what I do, it's gonna look bad at the beginning, but eventually I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right, and it's gonna look good, right? So just keep that in mind, and I think you will be fine. So it's I think that's very important, because you need to have a lot of faith in the process. This is the same with painting in general, any kind of art. It's always the last polish, and I find like it's the same for any kind of craft. Snake. And it really is just that. So it's a lot of faith. Like, for example, here, like, it looks like it's not blending very well. I just start painting here was a little bit more up. There you go. Yeah, it does help. It does help. It will look better eventually when we add more of this. But you need to keep that in mind, otherwise you're gonna get crazy. Okay. So, because I treat this as like a painting, I tend to work on this piece and then on that piece, and then keep working over and over until I'm like satisfied with the overall look. So now I'm gonna start painting a little bit on this one. So let's go here, Control E, then find it. And let's just put it here. We don't really need this anymore. And go to modeling. Eventually we'll put the nanite displacement. We can try to do that. But for now, like it's fine. Yeah, we have enough geometry to work with. So we're gonna go here for mesh paint. And are just gonna start painting here. To mesh, all right. Okay. So I really don't like this one, so we're just gonna, yeah, something like that could be. To mesh. To mesh. Yep. So what I'm looking here is basically interesting patterns. Like everything when you paint, it's like a pattern. Like when I see this, I don't see bricks or concrete or whatever. I see just patterns and shapes. And whenever I see a shape here, like for example this one, like this one is like this one shape, this is one shape, and I feel like this is interesting enough. Like I have enough space for this one, and this one is not occupying like a lot of space, like 70-30% rule. When I see this shape, like I don't really like it. It's like not interesting. And I know that sounds like kind of, you know, like very crazy, you know, like how do you know if a shape looks right or wrong? That's really hard to explain to someone that like it's like a programmer or something like that, because it has a lot to do with the feeling and like how you feel. Like for example, if I play the piano to you, like how will you feel if I play something bad, even though you know nothing about playing the piano? You just know when you look something, it just looks bad. It's the same here. Like you see it and you trust your instinct. And that's usually a lot of things in art are like that. A lot of things in art. So you need to keep that in mind. Well, actually, this one has a lot of noise. So whether you like it or not, that's personal preference. It will be up to you to do that. For example, I don't like this one, so I just delete until I feel happy with the shapes that I'm creating, and then I can try this one. To mesh. All right, I don't like this shape a lot, so I can just paint here, and I can start making something like this. I start painting and go to mesh. Maybe this one is a little bit better. So start painting again, and eventually you find a shape that you like. It's not a science. It's not like, oh, like this is the way you do everything. You see it, and eventually with time your eye like will get better, and you will be able to have like better judgment for things. This is really, there's no shortcut for this. There's really no shortcut. All right. I feel like it's too empty here. And I try to have a shape like this that is connected. Something like that. And then I can refine things, like making it a little bit smaller and painting here. To mesh. I really like this one. And just break it. I'm starting to like it more. I can just go back here and start painting. Something like this. There you go. And it's all about the intuition. It's like you feel it's good, and maybe tomorrow you see it again and it's like, hey, I actually don't like this part, and you change it. And that's a lot of things that they don't show in any tutorial. This has a lot to do with your taste, and how you develop that taste is just maybe learn more art, maybe paint more, maybe watch more artists, understand why they make this decision and why this shape looks interesting. I try to just internalize all that knowledge, and eventually you will be able to judge better how to make like better pieces, you know. And we create realistic assets with Houdini and ZBrush. I don't think Houdini is the best tool for creating realistic assets unless you want to make destruction simulations. I think it's ZBrush. Well, you can just learn to sculpt. But to be honest, like, I probably won't even use ZBrush in this piece, because a lot of the details will come from they will come from the nanite displacement. So if I can just go here and apply this, we'll see that I'm having a lot of interesting details that is breaking the line of that silhouette, which is really cool, to be honest. Like, you can just put it like this. That starts adding up when you have a shot like this where everything is like close up. Otherwise, you almost don't see the difference. Except like in these areas, you will find like these lines are like beautiful. Like it breaks a lot the CG feeling. Like this one. You want to avoid having straight lines in your environments. I probably will still... I want to see how it looks like with the Vertex painting, but maybe later. It's really good stuff, yeah. It's gonna take some time. Gonna have a lot of faith on this. Actually, I think I should... Yeah, that's better. So let's open the top. Let's try to make some UVs. All right, so this one is gonna be the top material. So how we find it? Let's just go here. And let's just put it just right here. All right. So for this is gonna be really interesting. How do you UV this thing? Because certainly has a lot of issues here, but we can solve it. So how will I go about UVing this stuff? Well, it's very simple. We start with the polygroups. If you go to model, polygroup, you will see that everything here is a polygroup. That's not a good thing. We don't want that. So first things first, let's remove the bottom. So polygroup edit. Let's make the polygroups first. So let's go to polygroup edit. Let's go for, mesh triangle selection. And let's select everything within the angle. So I'm still having, I'm gonna put an angle like 30, for example. Yeah, so it's like, so this one is like one polygon. We're gonna start with this, and probably it's not gonna work very well, but we will try. So this is one polygroup. So create polygroup here. Now we will start with this ones. Create polygroup. This one, create polygroup. And every part that I see that we have an angle like 90 degrees. There we go, create polygroup. Every time we see that, make sure that you separate the polygroups. Like this one is almost it's not 90, but it's almost 90. So if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna remove the polygroups here. So this one is gonna be another polygroup. And this one is gonna be another polygroup. So each polygroup is gonna be like a different island. And you will see that selecting with the angle is much easier. So we can just create a polygroup. And the last one is gonna be another polygroup. So with that, I think we pretty much finished the polygroup editing. So what I can do now is go to polygroup edit and click here and remove it. And let's go for an unwrapped to see how it looks like. We're gonna have to play a little bit with this, but probably it's gonna work. So let's go to UV unwrap, and make sure it's on polygroups. Okay. And now that I see it, probably we can still, mix this one. So instead of checkerboard, I'm gonna put the original one, because it is kind of like working here. I really like it, but here the angle, it's like, I feel like it still can work because it also works here. So let's keep it like that. And what I will try is to go for polygroup edit actually go to mesh, triangle select, and let's select by all in group. So this is my group. This is my reduce the size. So let's clear. This is my group, second group, third group. Okay, so make sure only this is selected. Now you can create a polygroup. And what we can do is go ahead and try it again. UV unwrap. And it looks like it's working. And the beautiful thing about the unwrap is that it's actually connecting this. So whenever we put that displacement or anything, it's just gonna work really well for us. So now we have this thing. Everything works pretty well. I really like it. And I don't know if this is inverted or what the hell is this? I think it's inverted. I'm not super sure. But anyway, it's the back, so I don't really give a crap. So now that you have this, we just need to take care of the rotation of things. So we're gonna go to Model, Polygroup Edit, click here. Sorry, instead of Polygroup Edit, we're gonna go to Transform UVs. And for each one of them, we're gonna try to put it in position. So for example, like this. We can also rotate it and put it like this. There you go. This one we can rotate it as well. This one we can also rotate. This one we can rotate it as well. And this one we can rotate it. And there you go. So now that you have this, we can start packing. So we can lay out UVs, repack. We can even like normalize or repack actually works quite well, but the problem is it's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna rotate. Yeah, it's gonna rotate some of those. So what I wanna do is go to the UV editor and I'm gonna select everything. I'm gonna move this one, make sure everything here is just like that. All right. And I'm gonna select everything and I'm gonna scale it just like this. Hit apply. And this looks much better. Let's take a look how it looks like compared to other ones. This looks all right. So that's it. And now we have UV or mesh inside Unreal, and pretty easy to be honest compared to other programs. Like using the polygroups and everything is just like super efficient, super efficient. So let's go with that, and let's just save it and save everything, just in case we look at that. Beautiful. All right, so we save everything, and we don't need this anymore. So now what we can do is to start painting. So we can just let's go ahead and go to Mesh Paint. Start painting here. And I actually gonna fill everything with black. So I have like my main my main UVs. Go to Mesh. Actually, I'm gonna move it closer. Okay, so I move it closer just like this. Probably, yeah, maybe I need to make it a little bit smaller. So let's go to Modeling, UVs, UV Editor, and let's make it just a tiny bit smaller, just a tiny bit. Too much. Maybe like this. Yeah, maybe that's better. Okay. So now I can just paint here. Let's go to Mesh Paint, and let's just. Oh, I forgot we haven't added the Vertex. So we go to Modeling, and let's start adding some polygroup edit, insert edge loops. And we cannot, I think we won't be able to put an edge loop here. How big? I wonder if we can do a insert edge just like this. Yep. Actually, I don't have an edge here. What the hell? Oh, we do have an edge. What? Yeah, we do have an edge. The polygroup edit. I want to see the wireframe. Yeah, we do have an edge here. So in this case, we can just go for insert edge loop, and yeah, it's not gonna work here. It's not gonna work quite well. So we're just gonna insert edges here. Just naturally insert edges. Insert edge. Like we can also like simplify the groups. Insert edge. Oh, and now we can use insert edge loops. There you go. Do the same here. And let's go for done and insert edge loop. Not edge loop, sorry, insert edge. And try to put it just right here. And you can see that because we have the UVs, like we don't really need to. Let's put like 15 or something. Yeah. So now what we can do is also insert an edge from here to there. Let's see if we can find a. Let's see. Insert edge from this one. I don't know why it's not connecting here. I don't know why. Oh, I didn't save. Oh my god. So instead of doing this, I'm actually gonna do is just go to remesh everything, keep it like that, and this is gonna keep everything. So I didn't want to do this. Oh crap, it's actually changing quite a bit my topology. So let's see, shape preserving, edge constraints. No, we don't want this. Group boundary, fix. Refine. Oh, because this is a different group, that's why it's like this. Uniform. Shape. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna work. What if we put like 20,000? Is that smooth enough? No, not really. Like it looks like a very little thing, but it actually matters. It's not gonna be very smooth. And it's like this. I do have a lot of polygons. But the problem is, I mean, it's not really a problem, the polygon count. No, let's go with this. Because you barely see the smoothing issue. Yeah. I probably can do a backup before I do that. So let's Control C and let me duplicate this one and call it backup. Okay, so now I can just remesh 30,000. All right. And now we can just go for mesh paint and start painting here. Obviously, this is going to be a little bit laggy. It's a lot of polygons. So to mesh. To mesh. Okay. Cool. Now we can decrease the size. I don't know if I want to paint on this part. Nah. Maybe this one. Let's decrease the size. Just a tiny bit, yeah. Just like that. A little bit of erosion. I'm not feeling it. And this part is it's a little bit too much to mesh. And this one we can start painting this just to see like where it connects us. Like looks like this part is fine. To mesh. Now we don't want this same. We don't want this. Okay. To mesh, and eventually we will find something we like. It does take some time. You don't want to overdo everything. Yeah, and like it is mostly white, right? So we need to keep that in mind. So now that we have this, the cool thing is that it's actually changing in every part that we're using, which is only here. So we don't really need to do it again. And I believe one of those, yeah, this one is the same as this one. So there's actually an issue here with the displacement. And one of the reasons has to do with the UVs. It's another thing that happens a lot with... it's like when you when you work on a project for a while and then you work again, and like you kind of like doing the same, but you do it better. So there are some learnings that you will have, and you will see that like these areas are not really that great. You can try to do the modeling and go to attributes, normals, and you can just go for this and see how it looks like. It looks terrible. So I don't think nanite displacement is the tool for everything. So we're gonna have to use other tools in our disposal for, just adding more stuff. So let's take a look at how this looks like. I usually like to go here. Let's just go for number 2. Let's take a screenshot. It's always nice because you can check like the whole process later on, and you can feel like, oh, actually, like I'm making progress, right? So that's something you can keep in mind when working on these projects that usually like take a long time. You can always see the progress, and it's like, hey, actually I'm making progress. So you get a little bit of motivation and continue working on those. It's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. So, okay, this one. Let's see. If you got any questions, just feel free to ask. It can be from any topic, like either you're working on something or whatever. Oh, by the way, we just start. We just start. We having some ideas on how promoting indie games. So if you're working on a game or something, or you have published a game on Steam and you need some kind of promotion or whatever, like feel free to let us know on the Discord. And what we want to do is to, just either play the games, and it's not like give feedback or whatever, but it's more so like it has more to do with promoting the work that indie game developers are making, because I feel like AAA it is stuck. It is stuck, definitely, in a very bad loop. Very bad loop. So I think if you can share your games or whatever, we can start doing some live streams and playing your game, getting some traction going. If you have a Steam page or anything, just let us know. We want to promote as much as possible. We can also give feedback. Again, it's not mainly focused on feedback. It's promoting what's good out there, and I think it can be very, very fun. Because I know how hard it is to create a channel that has a lot of traction. It's a lot of work, and if you don't have it, maybe you need some help, just let us know, and we will try. We'll try our best. There's actually the fortress here. It's not the other one, because I was working on another one as well. and it's another project, very similar. I'm gonna show you now, so I can rest my eyes a little bit on this project. Actually, another one. Initially, I was gonna do this one. I really like how this one was starting to come off, especially because I can just use the nanite displacement here because of the nature of this, the roundiness of this mesh. So I feel like I really like it, and I think this was one of the main shots here. I probably can put it here. Yeah, but I'm gonna go back to it after I finish this one. It's actually using different textures and everything, and it has like the, I'll show you the reference here. So it's here. So you can see it's very stylized, but it has like, it's compared to the other one, this feels more like handmade. Like if you compare this fortress to this one, like this feels more concrete, very like a tank, you know, sharp. This one looks more like handmade, a lot of curves, a lot of organic stuff. So that's why I feel like, you know what, let's go for this one for now. See how it looks like. I think it can be very interesting. So let's go back to this. I create assets. For example, I'm trying to create fantasy provincial buildings from the free project that was given away to make realistic terrible set. I mean, creating assets, it's depends for, there are multiple ways of creating assets. I am creating assets now. For example, just the nature I'm working on this is different because it's really, really different. And because this is a very big asset. If it's small prop or something, you may need some, you know, different approaches. So that's something you need to, keep in mind. So what's like the, first of all, like, I think you need to start learning Blender. I used 3ds Max for over 10 years, but I feel like Max, even though, like, for example, I modeled this in Max, some of this stuff, because I felt like the modeling tools were just not for it. I don't think you can model everything with the modeling tools. But I recommend you to do Blender. And if you can do something inside Unreal, then I think it's better to do it in Unreal because you save so much time. So there's something to keep in mind whenever you do this type of things. All right, so let's texture this asset. Let's texture this bad boy. There you go. Okay, as always, let's just go for polygroups. So everything is a polygroup here, which is an issue. So let's see how we can deal with this. Now, before I start, like, just try to learn Blender. Modeling tools are great. Like, I'm using them a lot. But to model very specific shapes is really hard. That's not what they are made for, at least at the moment. So try to... I can get away with this stuff because I already know how to... Most of the detail will come from the textures and the materials. That's why I can get away with this. But if you're modeling something different, probably you can use Blender. But for environment assets like this, like walls or things like that, I think the modeling tools are really good for modular parts. For anything other than that, I think it's really hard. You can get away with a lot of stuff, but every time you find like a really complex shape with the curves and you need more precision, that's where they stop being kind of useful. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's go again and angle filter. Let's actually put like 45 degrees. I don't want to hit the back faces. What is this? Okay. So let's go for this and create polygroup. Create polygroup here. Not here. This is a 90-degree angle. Unlike this one, we have a bevel here. This is a 90-degree angle, so it's not gonna work. So let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. I don't know why the angle is not actually working here. It's very strange. It's really, really strange. Polygroup. And I think, actually forgot this one. Clear. I think, all in group. Select this one, and then angle filter, and select the ones that we are missing. Polygroup, accept, and now we can go UVs and unwrap. So polygroups, repack. Yeah, we can repack. Let's go for, let's check the checkerboard. Yeah, so this is a very interesting case because ideally you want everything in one island so you don't have seams like this. Like here, for example, we don't have seams. That's why like this part is connected very nicely to here. That's only possible to some extent. When you have angles like this, like for example, this one is okay. This one is okay. It's just the front that is not working quite well. And you can try to play a little bit with the settings, but this distortion is just not gonna work very well for you eventually. So it's existing UVs, like it's gonna be like this. You don't want this. Polygroup give you the best results. So what we're gonna do is to go to mesh and triangle select, and we're gonna go for, or actually gonna select all this. And we're gonna select the top. Actually, we're not gonna select this part. Only the top. So there's gonna be a seam. That's all right. That's all right. It happens. It does happen. So we either combine this one, or we combine these two. So either way, there's gonna be a seam here. So let's create a polygroup. And I think I selected everything. So now let's go back and unwrap. So it looks like you still have some issues here with the angle. Not anymore. Preserve irregularity. This looks fine. This looks fine. Yeah, actually looks pretty fine. So let's go for the original. So you can see that you have the seam here on the top. But most likely that depends on your project. You're not gonna see it, right? So that's why I want to keep these two connected. So the seam is in a place where I'm not gonna see it. And that's a decision you have to make depending on your project. You cannot have like objects without seams or whatever. So it depends on, are you gonna see it? Is it very evident? Are we gonna put another object there to hide it? Things like this. That's actually I come with some nice Vertex painting here. But that's pretty much the decisions you need to make. And look at this. We're starting to have everything here very nicely laid down. I actually like the... I think I need to make it a little bit bigger. So let's go to the UV editor and select everything. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, that looks fine. It looks fine now. All right. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's remove this one and put it here. And it's very easy to do the UVs once you get the hang of it. I think polygroups are a very interesting way of doing those. You don't really need much. Like as long as you know like the importance of when to cut your meshes and everything, I think you're fine. I think you're pretty fine. Oh, look at that. A very nice UVs actually, without making anything. Except this part's a little bit distorted. I don't know if we can change it, but we'll try. We will try. Probably this part is gonna be hard. It's very interesting how this one came up. Okay, so go to modeling, mesh, triangle select. So everything is a group. That's not what we want. This is gonna be really hard. Okay, so I will try this. angle filter, all within angle. Okay, so we're gonna go for 45 degrees. This is gonna be 1. Okay, and also we're gonna go for this one. Okay, great. And what is this? Oh, this is not a selected. Is this a seam or something? I don't know. So create polygroup. Yeah, it's just a seam. This one, create polygroup. Create polygroup. Oh. Okay. Let's change the angle here. Clear. Let's create polygroup. Group. Yeah, that's great. Oh, actually create the polygroup here. I'm an idiot. Let's create polygroup. We cannot create, we don't need to create the polygroups there. Okay, polygroup. Polygroup. If you think this is boring, it's because it is. That's why it's less painful if I do it on a stream, where I can just interact with you guys. Oh, create polygroup. I already created polygroup for this one. Yep. Okay. And now here, we're gonna actually select all this and create a polygroup. I think that can work. And then all in group, select this one. Oh. Yep. Okay, so polygroup looks fine, and I think we're good to go. And now we'll go to UVs and UV unwrapped. Look at that. Looks good. Looks good. Let's take a look at the check report. Let's go for 40. It's like more. Okay, it looks good, but it's actually not that good. Preserve irregularity. No. We do want the polygroups. Okay, so it's distorting here on these ones. Okay. So these ones are the ones causing trouble. Do we really need to change it? That's where you wanna decide, like, you know what? Nobody's gonna see it. It doesn't matter. For these ones, like in this one, in this case, it was all right because we didn't have any angle from here. Because we have some angles coming from this side. We cannot do the same. So let's accept, and this time we're gonna do the same. UV unwrapped. you will see that everything is fine. All right, looks cool. Looks really good to me. Yep. So it's all right. So what can you do now? Well, we need to. Oh, actually, I got some vertex painting here. Let's go to mesh. Mesh paint. And fill it with black. Go to mesh. There you go. Much easier. Okay, so now we can just go to modeling and start checking if those bricks, they look bad or not. So let's go for polygroup edit. Sorry, UVs transform. Okay, just go for this one. It's like this. There you go. And you can actually select many of those. Start rotating. There you go. This one is fine. This one is fine. This one we need to rotate. There you go. There you go. Go for this ones. Oh, we actually have the polygroup here. I didn't even notice. It's actually doing a really good job. Like every time you have like an angle like this, you put a bevel. It does actually a very good job. I'm gonna leave it like that. Doesn't make much difference. Okay. So we're almost done. Here you go. Let's go for this one. This one looks fine. This one looks fine. Except now we're gonna go to the UV editor and we'll have to make everything a little bit smaller. Apply. Okay, just a little bit bigger. Just a tiny bit. There you go. And I think it's fine. Now we just need to vertex paint. You've already the word. How to make selections into polygraph for easier selection is handy. You mean like the angle selection? I pretty much either select by angle, by UV island, or by polygroup, and that's how. That's how I can get away with most of this stuff. I should have made a bevel here. I'm such an idiot. Like I should have made a bevel here. Can we make it? Can we make a bevel and not screw things up? Because this one has a bevel, right? Yeah. This one don't. Let's try. Let's try. Okay. Yep, just like that. Okay, so that changed quite a bit of what we wanted to do. So let's fill here. And we need to do the UVs again. So it's going to be very easy. Modeling, mesh, triangle selection. Are these like an other all UV island? Yeah, this is not connected. So all in group. Okay, okay. Okay, so this one will be 1. Create polygroup. And Jesus. Okay. Yeah, it's gotta be this way. There's no other way we can do this. This is gonna be another polygroup. And actually, I'm just gonna select all this. There you go. Create polygroup. This one don't need. Actually, I could have made a bevel here. Could have worked. Or I'm gonna do it. Actually, the process is really simple if you think about it. Just group the things that you want in an island, and that's it. That's all you need to do. It's no need to complicate things. Create a polygroup. I'm gonna see if I can poly group. Yeah, that's much easier, right? Create polygroup. Create polygroup. All right. Yeah. And we can do this here. I don't know why some of those don't have the, you know, some of them are connected and some of them are not. Okay. How about this one? Create polygroup. Yep. Looks fine. Looks fine. Looks fine. All right. So let's go model, polygroup edit, and let's try to make a bevel once again for this area. This is gonna work. Ah, it looks fine. It's fine. So now we can go ahead and go to mesh and triangle selection, all by group. Everything here will be a group. Create polygroup, and then we're gonna go for the corner. All right. Create polygroup. Accept, and now it's time for check everything. Looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty good. just before we do this, let's just go to paint, fill, to mesh, go modeling once again. And now we need to change the direction of these bricks. Go to UVs, transform UVs. Looks like all of this have the same direction. So we go here and just, there you go. I do the same from this angle. There you go. Looks fine. Let's find this angle. Let's find this angle. Show you this angle as well. Should be the same, almost the same. Okay, 90 degrees here. $90 as well. This one can leave it there. Actually, this is the most important one. So let's. There you go. This one, this one. Just shift click. And this one's here. So we need to change as well. This one need to change. I'll do the same here. This one looks fine. Just like my earphones died. Not that I need them anyway, because I'm not listening to anything. Oh, this part. Forgot this part. 90 degrees. Yeah. And this part. 90 degrees. And we're chilling. We are just chilling. Yep. Oh, nice. So, last part. We need to change the UVs. So, obviously, you may be thinking like, hey, like, how do you know which size? You know, not everything needs to be perfect. Just good enough, you know? Just good enough. And I think this one is too small. I'm probably gonna change this one in the future. So for this one, we're just gonna start painting now. So let's start with this one. So mesh paint. And let's start painting here. And what we can do is just, forgot we need to add some geometry. Same as before, I'm gonna duplicate this one as the backup, because I'm gonna change the geometry quite drastically. So let's go here, mesh, remesh, maybe that 30,000. Yep. Let's leave it there. And maybe 50,000. It's okay for this type of mesh, like how much space they're occupying. And because like you may think like, oh, but what about these areas? It's all right because this is a very organic mesh. It's not like super hard surface. It's actually gonna give us a lot of nice little details like this. Like this may look like an error, but it's actually a very good thing because you will be able to break the CG feeling by adding these lines here. And eventually we will add some displacement or whatnot, so it's just gonna look great. So we can just go ahead and start painting. So mesh paint. And just start painting here. So start painting pretty much everywhere. What I like to do is just to have something and then kind of change it. Like, so we go to mesh, say, oh, that's awful. It's all right. It's really all right. So we can just start painting here with shift click. Mesh. And this process is just gonna take some time. Let's change the size. Start painting to mesh. And we can actually start adding some of these different materials on top. And we're just gonna do the same process over again. How can we add multiple texture in Vertex color paint? I will show you soon. I will show you the material. Let me paint this area and I show you. It's very easy. I think I did a tutorial on this. Like everything you need to know about texture blending in Unreal. It's like a 20-minute something covering every type of blending that you can make. But I will show you soon very quickly. Let's just increase the size now. To mesh. I like this. Okay, and here can paint again. You don't want to paint like super obvious. Okay, and then just paint here. All right, to mesh. All right, beautiful. So we're having some issues here with the... It's not cool. Fix. So the material, it's very easy. Just I'll show you. So you have these materials. So you need to make material attributes. You just connect the color, the mask, the normal. And this is where the magic happens. You use material layer blend standard. Don't use the simple one because it doesn't have all the attributes. You can use this one and then go to the alpha here. And the alpha is going to use a height lerp. And you're going to use a vertex color that you want. So for the first material, you're going to put like this material brick and this second material. And you're going to put it on the base material and the top material. And in the alpha, you're going to put the height lerp, or the transition phase is going to be the vertex color that you want. You're going to have a height texture that you can grab from any one of those. So for example, the layer 1. And you're going to have a contrast. So this will give you a very nice blending. And then what you can do is just plug the alpha here. Do the same for the height lerp of this. The alpha, you can just put it here. And the third material is here. Now it's very disorganized, but that's because I'm just working just myself in this project, so I don't really need to share it with anyone. That's why it looks a little bit messy, but it's pretty simple actually. Very, very simple. All right, let's do the vertex painting for this. Actually, not this one. Let's delete this one and let's just go for this. And now that we have this, we need to do another backup. Actually, we don't need a backup for this one. We can just go ahead and modeling and go for model, polygroup edit, and insert edge loop. I think we should be able to, yeah. Can put like 15. It's all right. By 15, nah. And put like 20 here. Yeah, this looks more square. All right. So click accept. Now we can go for mesh paint. I start painting here. It's a lot of paint. And you can also use this one for the flint walk. Now you can start painting again, just to blend a little bit better with everything. And to mesh. Look at this. I actually like this result, except for this part. Like we can just paint it like this and to mesh. Oh, look at that. Whew. All right. Let's take a look at how it looks like. Almost finished the base color part, and then we can start adding more and more details, which is really cool. Really, really cool. So let's take a look at how this looks like. Capture, we can change the lining a little bit if you want. The way I like to think about lining, it's just shapes between shadows and lit areas. So for example, if I had the lining like this, like for example this one, it's very flat, right? So you lose a lot of shapes that you were making. Whereas if I have the light like this, you have like shadow areas and lit areas, and you can just start playing with those, like some really like hard shadows, or maybe you like this type of design. The possibilities are endless for this. Are really like, you can do whatever you wish. You can increase like a lot of contrast, some areas with shadows here, like in this area, some areas with shadows here, and then the rest can be like lit areas. And I find like that's like the best way to think about your compositions, because you have something like this, you're not really selling your mesh in a nice way. It's actually a smoothing issue here. I'm gonna have to take care of it. But yeah, you're not really like selling the best of your mesh. Is not really that great. Not really that great. So I'm actually gonna go here and change this. Go to modeling and let's go to attributes, normals, and let's go for let's do 60. I think that should work. I think that should, yeah, that looks a little bit better in terms of shading. You can also like try something like this, like more dramatic. You can see how it actually changed so much. So I'm gonna go here and take another screenshot. And what I'm gonna do is to actually go here. You can see how cool it is to actually just and I didn't really take a screenshot of how this began. This was like the second day. I start adding more things and just, you know, it's the same process I'm doing. It's like little by little. Eventually you add more stuff, you add the background, you add more elements like flags, and then you end up with this, right? Change the lining a little bit. It's just very nice process. And this is how we start. And we add more things. And this is the latest version. So it's it's been some progress here. Definitely. I like it. All right, guys. I think it's been a good one. We actually have like a promotion during the live. If you want to check our UNF game development program where you create a game from scratch, feel free to check that out. Promotion will end very, very soon. It's only promotion during the live stream. Because I haven't really mentioned this to you, I'm gonna just leave it there like 1 hour or something, and then it's gone. Want to do this more often, where during the live stream you get the chance of getting something from us just from being here. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the live stream, guys. It's been really there is some progress. Definitely there is some progress. I like where this is heading. It's definitely getting somewhere, you know. So I try to do it every Friday we can have a live stream, same hour probably. And yeah, in the future, let's see if we add different topics. Like maybe we want to chat about different things on on game development, things that are happening in the industry or whatever. Let's just try to connect more with you guys, because the videos on YouTube, like more tutorials, things like that, I cannot really have a conversation with you. These live streams are like really, really cool in that way. So I'm gonna keep doing those, see how it goes, see how this ends. I will keep working on this every Friday where we have a live stream, and hopefully we can finish it together. You can see the whole process of creating the environment. This live stream is available for you on the live stream tab. It's gonna be there. You don't need to, if you miss it or whatever, you can always come back and watch it to see all the process. And yeah, hopefully we have a really good piece, not only for my portfolio, but also like I think it's gonna be really cool to add all these things. It's gonna take some time, but anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you learn something from here. Like maybe open your mind to different workflows or whatever. See how I go on creating environments. Steal those things from me, and yeah, hopefully we also have some fun together. It's gonna be some interesting weeks where we do more live streams on the channel. So that's it, guys. Hope you have a good one, and see you next time.